Assalamualaikum to Dr. Balkis. So today my group, which is me, Nurul Sufika and Azrul, going to present for the counseling and therapy in group. Azrul going to start first.
Hi, Doctor. My name is Azrul. So I will present it for introduction. So group counseling typically involves 6 to 8 students who meet face to face with a number of willing group counselors and discuss the things that concern them the most. The therapy group meet weekly at the same time for 90 minutes. This collaboration offers individuals the opportunity to develop an understanding of themselves and others, evaluate better approach to being with others, and learn more viable ways to connect. For our session, a total of 6 students joined this counseling group. There were 2 female students and 4 male students participating in our session. They are all from the University of Management and Science, various program and level of study. There are group members who come from diploma and degrees. So although they come from a variety of background, they all face the same problem of causing anxiety while studying during the COVID-19 strike. In addition, the main purpose of holding this group counseling session is to teach group members in setting objective for themselves. Furthermore, this counseling groups is also able to provide warmth and is able to provide current support during the process. So that's all. Thank you.
I will be presenting for the activity description. So our activity is having the icebreaking session and then activity session and also homework session. So for the icebreaking session, we have 2 activities which is 2 true 1 lie and get to know yourself. So for the 2 true 1 lie, counselors should ask their group members to write like 3 facts down on a sheet of paper. 2 of these facts should be true and 1 of it should be alive. And their group members can take turns to read their 3 facts to one another, while remaining members need to guess what is the truth and what is the lie. And then these activities actually brings a lot of advantage because it can build a relationship with the group members and improve the cohesion. And then for the get to know yourself activities is like describing yourself and why you choose the color. And then they need to explain the various factors that can be involved with the color and with themselves as well. And then through this activity is actually helping us to build a rapport and making the session goes more smoothly. And then it also helped to warm up the group members and make them to trust each other to continue the sessions. And then for the activities sessions, we have 2, which is DAS 21 is for measuring the emotional states of depression, anxiety, and stress. And then fear worries in a head, which is this activity is actually like writing down any concern they have, like what is bothering them throughout their life. And then from that we asking them how is this affecting their life and etc. And then this activity can easily to lead a discussion of a team contract and also goals that the group member wishes to achieve. And this activity also helps to build trust and unity as people come to realize that everyone has a similar fears. And then for the homework parts, we're using the CBT techniques, which is the ABC model. We let them know that the A is for the event, B is for the belief, and C for the emotion. So when they're using this as homework, they can like distribute their irrational belief and make it to a positive one. We're hoping that from this they can learn how to get rid of any of negative thoughts, emotion in a positive ways. So that's all from me.
So counseling and guidance skill. There we have five counseling skill, which is active listening, questioning, attending skill, summarizing skill, and paraphrasing skill. So for active listening is important skill that a counselor should have. It tend to be characterized as the use of eye-to-eye connection, looks, and gesture to imply that you are logged in and focused on the data the client is saying. It can help individual feels like they have been heard and approve of the data they decide to share. Active listening is also important skill for counselors to communicate with others clients. Moreover, there are two parts to active listening. The first is comprehension, then the next part is about caring. Next, when group counseling session were conducted, counselor demonstrate active listening skill when group members share their information such as nodding their head and eye contact with other group members. So for the second skill is questioning. There are two types of questioning style that counselor should use, which is open-ended question and closed-ended questions. Skills in questioning techniques can help counselor to better interpret what the client is saying, and it can help them think more deeply about their situation as well. Open-ended question include all questions instead to gather more detailed and complex information, while close-ended question are aimed at short question with a specific answer. For example, in one of the question, when in group counseling session, counselor assess the highest scores they face from either depression, anxiety, and stress based on the DAS 21 question given by the counselor. So for the third skills is attending skills. Being attentive means the counselor is fully focused on the clients, paying attention to what the client saying, doing the tone of voice use and body language. Next, the attending techniques is when the counselor has awareness and interest in what is being shared from the client, whether they are sharing through verbal or non-verbal communication. In addition, this attending skill can also help such counselor to better understanding their clients through more careful observation. For example, the counselor conduct a group counseling session. The counselor shows himself or herself attending by showing appropriate body language that will not make others group member feels uncomfortable. For the fourth skill is summarizing skills. So summarization is one of the skills in counseling that therapists use to summarize a client's feelings, emotions, and thoughts. In other words, summarize is when the therapist wants a compact criteria main point that the point that given by a client convey through his or her words and body language. These formulating skills will be practiced at the beginning and end of the session. Based on an example that can be linked is that when a counselor leads a counseling group, the counselor use this skill at the beginning and end of the session, which make others group members feel like the counselor is paying full attention to them. So for the last skill is paraphrasing. Paraphrasing. The paraphrase skill is to describe a given partnership from a client. Next, the counselor will select the most important detail of what the client has just said and reflect them to the client using the others word that have similar meaning. In addition, this paraphrasing technique can also be in the form of just a few words or one or two short sentences that can describe the client situation. Moreover, the paraphrase can also be just a few words or one or short sentence based on the sharing provided by the client. For example, during a group counseling session, the counselor repeats the client information using different words to indicate that the counselor is paying attention to them. So that's all for me.
Okay, so for my part, I'm going to do the feedback from the university students. So we are to gain the feedback from the university student. We're using the client counselor feedback form. So there is total 50 questions that be divided into 4 sections. So firstly, we focusing about the working relationship with the counselor. So in this section, there are 10 questions, which is my counselor listened to me effectively, my counselor understood things from my point of views, and etc. So from question 1 until question 5, most of the answers that we get are mostly 1 and 2, which is indicating they strongly agree and some and agree. And then for the question 6 until 10, most of the result that we get is 1, 2, and 3, which is strongly agree, somewhat agree, and no strong feeling. And then for the second section is focusing on about the result of working with your counselor. So the question is, the session with my counselor helped me with whatever originally lead me to seek counseling, and then any change that might have occurred in me as a result of my counseling have been positive and welcome. So in this part, the result that we get is mostly 1 and 2, which is indicating the strongly agree and somewhat agree. Next slide, please. Okay, and then for the third section, we're focusing on overall satisfaction. So we're asking about if overall level of satisfaction with the service provided by counselor is okay or not. So we getting the result is 1 and 2, which is very satisfied and somewhat satisfied. And also we also getting the no strong feeling. And then we also ask about based on their experience, will they recommend us as a counselor? And the answer is 1, 2, and 3, which is indicating they're very satisfied, somewhat satisfied, and no strong feeling. And this is what we're getting. And then for the improvement part, most of the feedback that we get is likely the constructive comment, which is this is the result that we get. Firstly, they said that I don't think there need to be any improvement because overall the session was very good. And then some of them saying about do more paraphrasing. And then they also said that we do not have any interaction together, and then they cannot see the counselor roles, and they want us to do more of her face. And they're also hoping for the session to be to do at their free time in a long period. So throughout this feedback, we can see that we are still lacking in few skills and we need to improve that. However, there's also part where the group members are enjoying the sessions, and we are doing good, and we can improve in that part also. So that's all from me.
So for the conclusion is
No,
group therapy is
recommendation. Sorry. Okay, so last part for me is the recommendation part. So we suggest 3 recommendation. We say first, counseling service need to be more accessible for the students. And then second one is that counseling session needs to be affordable for the students. And last, create more awareness on how important counseling can be, especially for students. So for the counseling service need to be more accessible for the students is because as the student, it's hard for them to get an access to do the counseling sessions, and they do not know how to begin and where to start it. And as we know, counseling is important for students because through counseling, students can work on their emotions, cognitive behavior, and interpersonal relationships in way that will help them manage their emotions and etc. So by if they can get this access easily, it will help them to improve themselves not only as a student but as a human, and then can from this they can get a better result, and they can be a better person as a whole. So it's important for us for counseling to be more accessible for students, especially in this pandemic situations. And then for the second part, counseling session needs to be more affordable. So as we know, students are limited with their budget. So to get a counseling session is kind of hard for them, especially when they need to spend more money. That's why counselings need to be more affordable for the clients. The council can do anything to make it less pricey. Like for example, they can suggest for the group therapy because the fees are mostly being divided among the group members, or they can provide online uh, online sessions so that it will be easier and accessible for the students. And then to create more awareness on how important counseling can be, especially for students. This is because by creating awareness on how important counseling can be, it can encourage student academics, social, emotional, cognitive, and personal progress. In order to achieve this goal, counseling and guidance service can help students to get know more about themselves and discover effective solution for their daily life problems. And we also need to highlight the ignorance regarding the range of issues that can be addressed by counseling. People do not understand that counseling is not always about handling psychological or emotional problems every single time. This is because counseling can help in like their daily life problem, in their studies and careers. So this can shows that counseling is not limited in issues that can be discussed. So by creating awareness among students about this, it can show that how benefits the counseling session can be, and this is the crucial step for the counseling. So to make this happen, counselor should be one that reach out the student, not waiting for the student to reach out for them. And counselors need to play more initiative taking role because they are one who provided the services. So that's all for me.
For the conclusion, group therapy is an elective approach to treating yourself as well as others in a truly satisfying and effective way. With the help of gathering pioneers, individuals find out the meaning of their behavior to others. A large number of group members will feel odd or part of themselves appear unsatisfactory as a result of their concerns, judgment, or sentiments. It is very reassuring and empathetic to realize that others have difficulties, reflection, and feeling comparable to them. So that's all from us. Thank you.